This is literally 5 seconds after I just recorded that other one. So, let's hurry up and get into it. Clippers. Thunder. Thunder off a back-to-back, losing to the Lakers. Obviously, the Clippers won. Let's talk about it. First and foremost, I would like to say Paul George. I was unfamiliar with your game. I'm lying. I knew you was nice. But those last minute and a half, 2 minutes? It's probably crazy. But let's talk about the whole game. Let's talk about the whole game. First of all, I've been watching a lot of Thunder and I haven't been watching too much Clippers games, but I have been watching a lot of Thunder's games. They were actually one of my favorite teams, other than the Celtics in the league. They're actually one of my favorite teams. But yeah, I was looking at the Thunder in this game. You're coming off a back-to-back. You just lose to the Lakers in the same building. You're probably going to be exhausted. I wasn't expecting them to win it. I didn't honestly expect them to put this big of a fight that they had. They ended the first quarter up, I think, or they at least were up in the first quarter. They were down the entire rest of the game and didn't get a lead until, I'd say, midway through the fourth. So I knew fatigue was going to play a factor. Again, no matter how that game was before last night, if you play at least a good 30 minutes in a game and then play another game back to back, it's gonna catch up to you regardless, because you still got to practice before that. You still got to go over film. You still got to do all that. So no matter what, on a back to back, it's gonna hurt. But the Clippers, I don't know what type of win streak they're on. I remember I made a video earlier after the Harden trade. They're 22-7 since I made that video. Well, 23-7 now. The 22-7 was before the win. They're 23-7. Now, I'm gonna start off on the Clippers side of the ball. One, the ball movement, the spacing, everything looks amazing. The starting lineup looks amazing. They didn't have Zubac last night. He has to get reevaluated in about 4 weeks' time, I think. 4 weeks' time. The Clippers side of the ball looks amazing. Defense, offensive side. Their bench looks amazing with Russ coming off. Vic gives them immediate energy off the bench. Him and Norman Powell. Norman Powell's great shot making. Russ is great playmaking. Now, the pick and roll, obviously, the Clippers offense might die down a little bit now with Zubac out the lineup for the next couple weeks. So I don't expect them to be as dominant as they just were against these other teams with Zubac. But I do still expect this team to obviously get some wins here and there. You have Harden, Paul George, Kawhi. You have Harden as a great facilitator who's great in the pick and roll. I haven't really seen a lot of Mason Plumlee's game to really say if he's good in the pick and roll as a roller. I don't know how good he is in that. But what I will say is his being in the dunker spot for him is honestly one of the good spots for him, in which he's either going to be playing the roller. Well, obviously, he's either going to be playing a role or he's going to be in the dunker spot almost half the time. He's not going to be crane off the dribble like these other centers, obviously. You have 3 shot makers, 3 shot creators, and you have Harden distributing the ball. Now, with this game, what I realized was, the Clippers offense looks amazing. Obviously, I'm a Celtics fan. If I had to compare them to the Celtics offense, they're up to par. Because there's so many different dynamic ways they can attack your defense. And with the Thunder, who are a young team, so obviously I didn't even expect them to be this good coming into the season. I expected a playoff run. I didn't expect them to be number 2, but with the Thunder, with them having so much with the Clippers having so many offensive weapons, and the Thunder, they're kind of a good defensive team. And I know people are going to hate me for this because I think they're top 5 in steals, top 5 in deflections. I don't think they're good perimeter defense type of guys. I think they're good at getting in the passing lanes and getting, putting their hands in a cookie jar, as some old folks would say, you know what I'm saying? Putting their hands in a cookie jar, getting steals. I don't think they're good at sliding their feet. That's what I'm basically saying. I think they need more defensive players. Because honestly, the only reason why this game was even as close as it was is because Isaiah Joe came off the bench sparking that hoe. He can't. I swear to you, I watched the full game. I swear I didn't see him miss when I was watching it. I don't know. Obviously, I haven't looked at the stats. I haven't looked at numbers, like who had what. All I know is it looked like he didn't miss a shot. It looked like every three he put up, I thought was money. I never thought that in my life. That's the only reason why I earned the game. And now, Chet, good rim protector. Can you trust him on the perimeter? I wouldn't trust him on the perimeter guarding a PG or a Kawhi. Obviously, those two right there are great perimeter workers. When I mean perimeter, I mean getting deep in their bag. You know what I'm saying? But I don't trust him on the perimeter. Josh Giddey, I don't trust him on the perimeter. Shai, he's iffy. He leads the league in steals. I never seen him as a good defender, though, in my opinion. Because I think I've said this before in past Thunder videos. I think I've done. If I haven't done them, I just said it in my head and I've never recorded it. But who knows? Shai is one of those lazy defenders. Now, when people think lazy, they think of like a Harden. I've seen Harden sit a couple times. I've yet to see Shai sit. I'm not gonna lie. But now, what I mean by lazy defenders is when he's going to get around a screen. So, imagine James Harden pick and roll with Plumlee. You have Shai on Harden, Chet on Plumlee. Shai is going to go over the screen, and he's going to try to back tap it. That's where he really gets all his steals, is the back tapping and his good hand swiping the ball. When it's time to ISO, I don't really like it. He's good at stripping the ball. I don't think he's good at staying in front of me. I don't think he's good at that. Now, Lu Dort, I trust. Jalen Williams, I trust. And then also the bench pieces that they have. I think they need a little more bench depth, in my opinion. I do think they need a little more bench depth, if they want to make a deep playoff run this year. Now, I'm not saying you got to do it this year. That's if you want to compete this year. That's if you want to. You might just want to make the playoffs to get you some playoff experience for your young players. But if you want to compete, if you want to even have a chance against the Clippers, the Nuggets, the Timberwolves, you have to get some type of bench depth. Yeah, Isaiah Joe's a good player. There was some other player Kenrich Williams. Yeah, he's a good player, but I don't know if I'd take any of those guys as a six-man over any of those teams I just named. I don't know. You have Russ, who's a great six-man, as we can see. He's a six-man of the year candidate, in my opinion, to be honest, with his energy and what he brings to the offense and the defensive side that he brings to the Clippers. Norman Powell is also a six-man. You have two people on the Clippers that can arguably be in the six-man of the year conversation. And the Thunder, you don't even have one I could put in the top 10, top 20 six-man of the year conversation. I just don't know. I think you're going to need some type of bench depth with this team. Obviously, they have a bunch of draft capital. I'm pretty sure they still have about 10 double-digit picks in the first round. So I can see them making a move maybe this year or waiting for next year to see how they do in the playoffs this year and see how everyone plays. Obviously, we've seen some rumors around Josh Giddey getting traded. This is crazy. I said I was going to do a review, and I'm just talking about everything else other than the game. We're just going to keep it rolling, though. But back to what I was saying. You've seen a lot of Josh Giddey in the trades. You haven't really seen a lot of Lu Dort in trades, but you've seen a lot of Josh Giddey in trades. You've seen... That's really all you've seen for the Thunder. But mainly, Josh Giddey trades have been coming up more likely than ever is because the incident he had earlier this season. Obviously, we all know. I'm not going to speak on it. But that's really the only move we see them making if they do deal somebody. We don't see them dealing anybody else on their roster, which honestly surprises me. But, and that now what really showed me that they need help on defense is what really happened in that last minute and 30. That last minute and 30 or last 2 minutes. Paul George took over that game in the matter of 2 minutes. Not even, the matter of 30 seconds, I can say. A matter of 30 seconds of the final minutes of that game. And, well, what else was I about? I was about to say something else. But the way he took it over was great. I think he had 3 or 4 back-to-back buckets. Came down the court. He got the ball. Cross pull. Made that. Comes back down. They go back. The Thunder go down. I don't think they scored. Clippers come back. Now this time, Paul George is coming off a screen. He's not ISOing this time. He's coming off a screen. Off the catch. Shoot it. Bang. Checking. Now, Thunder come up. Paul George gets a turnover. Euro step. Reverse dunk. And when you look at that, and then you compare it to a Thunder team, they don't have that many players to take over a game like that. Paul George just took over the game in a matter of 30 seconds. Yeah, we know Shea can do it. Obviously, Chet's in his rookie year, so we obviously, you know what I'm saying. I think he's going to take at least a year or two to really be able to do that. Josh Giddey can't really take over a game like that. Maybe in the passing game, he could take it over, but I'm talking about scoring. Josh Giddey's not really that big of a scorer. And then Jalen Williams, again, he's in his second year. We're not going to expect that. So again, with the Thunder being this high is why I'm saying all these things. I don't think they really should do anything with the team. And if you are, it is to look to get depth on your bench. If you are looking to make deals. If you're not, keep the same roster, go into free agency, go into the draft, maybe trade in the offseason when everyone, after the season ends, see what players want to get dealt out, see if you can go make a big play on them. And then you can see what you do next season. Because, again, your team is still young. You don't have to force anything right now. You don't have to force anything. Now, for the Clippers standpoint, they just have, again, like I said, they have too many weapons. They have Harden, PG, Kawhi. First of all, Kawhi's three-point shooting looks like it has gotten way much better than before. Kawhi's three-point shooting has definitely evolved better than anything I've seen. Yeah, it just evolved. And the thing is, with Harden, I know I said earlier in the video, this year that is it time to start worrying about that? Obviously, I was wrong. But now with Harden there, I know I'm saying this 2 months after the trade, but it takes so much burden off the shoulders of Paul George and Kawhi. Yeah, Russ kind of did it, but I feel like Harden just does it better. No cap. Can't lie to you. And the only reason why is because Harden has that perimeter game. And when I say perimeter game, because Russ still has a perimeter game, but I'm talking about three-point shooting, the shooting that Harden has, they don't have really. I mean, Harden doesn't have... Russ doesn't have the three-point shooting that Harden does to really extend the D and make the defense play up on you. When you're damn, I'm stuttering so much, Jesus Christ. But when you're guarding Russ, you can sag off a little bit off the screen, which you can force now to go under. On Harden, you can't really go under that screen. You're going to have to come above. And when you do that, now he has you on your back, and that could create a scramble. Because now the big has to come up. He might rotate to cover the big, and now the corner is wide open for a guy maybe like PG or Terrence Mann, whose Terrence Mann's three-point shooting has evolved this season and got way better. And you don't want to leave a guy like Paul George or Kawhi open, so you're going to let up a bucket either way. You're going to let up a bucket. But again, Jesus, I'm at 14 minutes. I feel like I haven't even been talking that long. Oh my God, that went by so fast. But yeah, this is another game where it was like, only one side looked like they needed improvement, and that was really the Thunder, which I've spoken on. If they want to make a run this year, which I don't think you'd want, like, you want to make the playoffs, you maybe, if you can make a deep run with the roster you have, do it. Don't force anything to where you're trading a young asset to try to win now and it doesn't work out, and now you're stuck in the hole that you were with when you had James Harden in them, KD, Russ. You made a wrong trade trading one of your young assets to try to win now when you could have kept them. And I don't know why they did that. They were just in the finals with the same roster. I don't know why they even traded that. But you don't want to make the same mistake twice. I'd say you keep this young core. You keep it. You use the draft picks if you want to get players. But other than that, you keep the same roster. You run with it for the rest of the season. And you see what happens. I think that's the best idea for the Thunder. And for the Clippers, it's scary. It's getting scary in the West. It's getting very, very scary in the West if they keep playing like this. Damn, I'm on 16 minutes. That is crazy. But yeah, it's getting scary in the West. I feel bad for any team. I feel bad for any fan that has a West favorite, that's favorite teams on the West Coast. I really do. You have a challenge to get to the finals. You have a real challenge. But I'm gonna end it off there. Got 2 videos done in the matter of 30 minutes, obviously. Both 15 minutes. I hate that I dragged these both out. But if you're watching, I appreciate it. If you like it, like it. If you liked even this video and the other video, subscribe. Why not? But I'm going to catch y'all before this drags out even longer. Peace.